Welcome back, guys, to our playthrough of Pokémon Crystal. I'm here right now inside Ecruteak City, Ecruteak, whatever. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going after one of the legendary beasts. I don't know which one I'm going to go after because I'm not sure exactly which one is going to show up because they're random. We have Raikou and Entei both that are going to appear in the grass at some point for us based off of some information I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about, one of which is like the method or location that you want to try and go after these guys. So the first thing is that you need to find a spot where you can transition between two locations, like presumably two routes that have patches of grass. So let's say right now I'm on Route 36. I'm going to search this patch of grass in a minute. If they're not in here, I'm going to go to Route 35, search a patch of grass. If they're not in there, I'm going to come back to this exact spot and then rinse and repeat. There are different locations where you can be like in a city, which has no patch of grass, go to the route, search, go into the city, and then go back to the route. You could do that, but it hurts your odds because what happens is every single time you transition between cities or routes or locations, the location of one of these legendary roamers is going to change. So for example, if you're in Violet City and you go west to that adjacent route, and then you search in the grass and it's not there, and you go back to Violet City, you're now missing a chance of running into it because there's no patch of grass for you to search in Violet City. It'll reset its location each and every time. So you want to find a good spot for you that you like that's efficient in two different patches of grass on either side so you can farm it. The most efficient way to do this is using one of the repels, presumably max repels. I think you can pick those up in Blackthorn. Grab as many of those as you can, and then grab a Pokemon that is probably between level 30 and 39 and have them be at the front of your party. For me, it is a red Gyarados at level 30 that I caught at the Lake of Rage. So I've got that in front. The reason being is because the two legendary beasts are at level 40 in the wild, so you want to make sure you don't have a Pokemon that's at level 40 or above because then it won't appear, because the max repels, or any of the repels for that matter, they are dependent upon how strong your front-running Pokemon is. So if I have a level 60 Pokemon, no Pokemon over level 60 will appear. If I have a level 5 Pokemon, every Pokemon over level 5 will appear in the grass, despite the fact that I'm running a repel of some kind. Okay, so there's that. The other thing is that these guys will know the move Roar. So regardless, if you have a Pokemon that knows like Mean Look or something like that to lock it in battle, they can still attack you and knock your Pokemon out of battle and then get away. So keep that in mind. You might want to use a Pokemon that has like a sleep powder. You might be lucky with like some sort of paralysis or some sort of sleep move, hypnosis, whatever works on them. I'm not sure if they are like immune to certain sleep moves, but put them to sleep, probably the best way to go. Obviously, the most efficient way to catch them is to use a Master Ball if you want. You do have only one Master Ball in the game. You can try the lottery for a second one, I think. But if you really want to, you can also use the cloning method like I did to get as many Master Balls as you want. If you're unfamiliar, I've got a video about that in the playthrough earlier on. It talks about, in that video, I talk about how you can clone and get all three starters at the beginning of your game. You can use that exact same method at any point in your game to get as many different Pokemon, or the same Pokemon as you want, rather. So like if you want a bunch of different Eevee, you can do that. Or you can use it to have them hold items like rare candies, nuggets, TMs, whatever, and then clone them so they have multiple copies of that same item. In this case, for me, Master Balls. I got 5, so that way I can catch a Raikou and an Entei with both, because I don't want to waste my time with battling it. But if you are in a position where you just want to catch it with Ultra Balls, and you are going to battle it, something good to know is that when the Raikou and the Entei, whatever one appears, and you attack it, when you hit them, they retain that damage for the next encounter. So let's say you run into one of the legendary beasts, you hit it with an attack, it cuts 50 of their HP. The next battle, they're going to have 50 HP down, and so on and so forth. So you can definitely do it that way if you want, but that's not efficient and that'll take a really long time, so I do not suggest it. That being said, let's go ahead and run a test run, and if I think of anything else useful, I will tell you. I will also not be running this for like 45 minutes because that's how long it took me when I was doing Pokemon Gold. Where is my repel? Am I blind? There it is. So I bought a whole bunch of them, but I'm not going to sit here and do it for that long. So I'm going to probably spend 10 minutes or so going back and forth, providing any thoughts or advice that I have, seeing if that works out, and then we'll go from there. So, for example, we're on Route 36 now, just south of Ecruteak. I know it's Ecruteak, but I hate calling it that. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll through here. The grass isn't working, so I'm pretty sure there's nothing in here, right? I feel like there's a good chance we would have seen it by now. I could be wrong, but whatever. It's probably not here. So now I'm going to go down here, and we're on Route 35. I'm going to chop down this tree, and then I'm going to search this patch of grass. There is no guarantee to tell which patch of grass they're going to be in, at least without having run into them in the wild. So for me, I'm just going to roll through this a little bit if there's a chance that they're in here. Now, every time I transition from one route to the next, they change their location, but at least there's a patch of grass on either side, so I can try it that way. Got a feeling they're not here. Repel's effect wore off. That was perfect. Okay, rinse and repeat. We're back in Route 36. I'm going to pop another Max Repel, and I'm going to go that way again. Just as a reminder, have your Pokemon up front that has the lowest level, but higher than whatever is in the patches of grass you're searching, so that way you don't encounter some sort of weak Pokemon that can throw you off. I remember when I was prepping for this video, I got excited because I thought I ran into a wild Pokemon, but it turned out to be like a level 10 or 12 Drowsy or something, because I forgot to pop my Repel, so keep that in mind. As mentioned, I've got 5 Master Balls, and it's only because the cloning method is super easy to do in this generation. I don't think there's anything in here. I'm not really interested in trying to battle them out or trying to get them to stay in battle. I thought having Mean Look on, like, Umbreon or Gengar was going to be a good choice, but then I was like, you know what, they can just roar me away, so it doesn't really matter. There's not really any sort of benefit to having Mean Look in that regard. Unless you can somehow disable the roar, but I don't know how you'd be able to do that, because chances are they probably, if they're using roar against you, like, it's over. Because I think roar knocks you out of the wild encounter. I don't think it's like, oh, okay, we roared you out, and now we have a, you can throw out another Pokemon. I don't think it lets you do that. But if I'm wrong, let me know. Also, too, if at any point I do say anything that isn't quite accurate, if you want to append any sort of details on it, some community notes, drop it down in the comment section and let me know. If you have any other methods or ideas or better farming spots, also share that with the group down below. This is just a way that I found that works, but by no means is it like the best possible way. I could sit here and spend some time Googling and reading forums on what people found were the best possible methods for them, but the whole thing is RNG. It is what it is. And at this point, too, like, I don't even know which legendary I'm going to run into. It could be Raikou or Entei, so I don't even know. It's a crapshoot for me. But when you clicked on this video, you probably already know which one it is, because the thumbnail art and the name of the video would have actually included both of them. So, yep, that didn't work. I'm going to go ahead and pop another one, just because I don't want to... I'm in the thick of the grass. I don't want to run into some other wild in here. Just one more little loop. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, Drowsy appears in that patch of grass, so... Alright, back in 36. I remember when I played Pokemon Gold for the first time, this is where I caught my legendaries, was just doing it this way. Raikou and Entei. And Suicune, actually. There definitely are better ways, but I'm a stubborn person, so... This is what I found was the most effective for me. But I'm assuming not. There's nothing in here. Because when I ran into them before... In my most recent Pokemon Gold playthrough, it did take about 45 minutes for them to appear in these routes, but I was able to run into them almost immediately. So, like, in terms of, like, running into the grass, like, I didn't have to do this many steps in here. Like, I would have run into them. See, there's no way this is the... Yeah, I took my chances and take another step. So, yeah, there's weak stuff in here. The moment that it wore off, a level 14 Hoot showed up, so... It is what it is. But you get the idea. That's probably going to be the most effective way to ensure your capture of these guys. I do recommend, like, the most efficient way, I think, is to use the cloning method for the Master Balls. Don't waste your time. But then again, there are a lot of people that are more pure, where they don't want to take advantage of exploits in the game, because it's a cheat, but I would sort of append onto that it's more of an exploit. The game lets you do it. It doesn't require any cheats or codes or whatever. It is what it is. But it is also something, too, where purists are probably going to be like, no, I want to catch it the old-fashioned way, which I totally respect. It's just, I don't have the patience for that. I have things I need to do, okay? Life waits for no man, and I'm not going to stick around here and wait so I can catch a Raikou and Entei with a friggin' Ultra Ball. Heck no, dude. Not about that life. Okay, I'm assuming he's not in here. Or they are not in here. I have not searched this grass enough to be confident. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's not in there either. Come back down here and rinse and repeat. That's pretty much all you got to do. So proud of that nickname, Boeing. My steel bird, Skarmory. I know that item's there. I just can't be bothered going and grabbing it. Like, I could very easily just, like, go over there and grab that thing, but I just don't care. All right, I'm going to give it another few moments here. All right. Do one more little search in this patch of grass. Effect wore off. Okay, we're gonna do one more. And then I'm gonna transition the video to where we actually find it. I'm not gonna sit here and waste your time for 45 minutes. It'll take too long. Okay, pretty sure he's not in there. Come back down here. See, what sucks is that, like, it's possible these guys could appear, like, in the route you just came from, so there'd be no way for you to actually know where they're located. But I'm pretty sure he's not in here. Yeah, we would have seen it by now, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'll see you guys when we actually run into something. All right, so we got one. I got my Entei. He was the first one to show up. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to throw a Master Ball. I've got a few from the cloning method. Just going to catch that, make it fast. Boom, and done. I'm so over this. It took so long. I tried a bunch of different routes. I tried a whole bunch of different things. It just seemed like RNG was not on my side. But we got it. There we go. Entei is done. Boom, there we go. Added the Pokedex. This brawny Pokemon courses around the earth, spouting flames hotter than a volcano's magma. Alright, give a nickname to Entei? No. Good. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing with Raikou. So we're going to do this combined in one video. There's no real reason to have to do two of them, I realize, so we're just going to combine it together. So, alright, time to go for Raikou then. Alright, so we finally got Raikou as well. This took me well over an hour. But that's why I did the cloning method for the Master Ball, so that way I can just use this and catch these guys really fast. That's ideally the most efficient way to catch these guys. The roamers are just a nightmare to deal with, so I wanted to make it super easy. I get it. If you want to use the Ultra Balls, that's totally fine. I just want to show you how to get them. How you catch them is totally up to you. That is your business. But alright, so we got Raikou now as well. Alright, the Thunder Pokemon. This rough Pokemon stores energy inside its body, then sweeps across the land, shooting off electricity. Now we're good. Alright, now it's up to you whether or not you want to follow the same path. I went to New Bark Town, went back and forth there, and just went in this grass. I just found this to be a little bit more simple. I threw on like some Hulu when I was watching that, and then just going back and forth and doing it that way. That's the most efficient way that I found it to work for me. But you can do the Route 35, 36 method. I found that also to be useful in the past, but it just wasn't working for me this time. It just is what it is. I mean, bottom line is the roamers will eventually come to you. So you just got to go ahead and do your thing. Find a spot that feels comfortable and prepare to take some time, because it's not going to be easy. But there you go. That's how you catch Raikou and Entei. I figured, you know what, instead of doing two videos for the exact same thing, one video is fine. There you go. Hopefully this was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, show your love, hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There's some links that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with me directly. Otherwise, just know I appreciate you and your time, and hope to see you when we continue with more of our playthrough of Pokémon Crystal. Alright guys, that's it for me. Take care, be well. See you next time.